All right, let's get a wrap following the NFP. Let's cross live to our reporter, Simphiwe Makhanya. Simphiwe, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Look, take us through some of the key points that were, of course, observed during the NFP's manifesto launch in Ulundi today.
Well, thank you very much, Alicia, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. The president of the NFP, that's Mr. Evan Barnes, has just concluded, addressing these thousands of party supporters who had converged here at the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium in Ulundi. This particular area where we are was a stronghold of this particular party, as well as the IFP. But here today, the NFP really surprising many by being able, to put together an event of this magnitude. But of course, we know that the party has been plagued by a number of challenges. One of those is the internal divisions that have been experienced within the party. The issue of them taking each other to court, challenging the various, leadership structures that are currently in place. But when the president of the NFP started addressing the crowd, he called on those who are perhaps aggrieved, who may not agree with him being the leader of the party, to say, let them come back into the fold of the party, let them unite the NFP, let them carry on the legacy of the founding president of the NFP, the late Zanele Kamagwaza Msibi. But in terms of what the speech entailed, he spoke about the 15 priorities of the party. One of those is the issue of ensuring that they deliver on basic services, particularly in areas such as this one in Ulundi, where the party was in fact leading the municipality before the 2016 local government elections, which, by the way, they did not contest. Other issues pertain to the issue of addressing crime in the area, saying that the NFP leadership will prioritize addressing crime. The NFP leadership will also prioritize attracting foreign investors so that there can be that much needed boost in the economy, and also be able then to address the issue of youth unemployment and unemployment in general. Leader of the NFP, that's Mr. Evan Barnes there, saying that the party has come a long way, and those who do not believe that the party is going to do well in these upcoming elections will be surprised after the May 29th polls that the party is gearing towards. But of course, we do know that the voices of the people are also crucial at events such as this one. We've had an opportunity to engage a number of them, and they also, expressed their, concerns with regards to issues of service delivery, saying that in some areas where they live, there is no water, there's no electricity, saying that there is still hope that the NFP will be able to carry the legacy of its founding president, Zanele Kamagwaza Msibi, by prioritizing the needs of ordinary South Africans. Of course, the leader of the NFP there, Mr. Barnes, concluding his speech by saying that the NFP is ready, to serve the people of KwaZulu-Natal. You'd recall as well that after the 2019 elections, this particular party lost about 4 seats in the National Assembly, which left them with only 2 seats as we speak, and also in the provincial legislature they only occupy a single seat. Issues that have led to this are issues of internal divisions, the issues of internal squabbles that have been seen within the structures of the party. But of course, the leadership of the NFP here today saying that they are here to make a statement. And by the way, Alicia, as he was busy addressing the crowd as this particular ceremony is continuing, we saw a helicopter which was hovering around the Ulundi stadium, the Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi Stadium, basically carrying a flag of the IFP, which is a rival party of this particular organization, the National Freedom Party. But here today, the NFP is a breakaway from the Inkatha Freedom Party, Alicia.
Simphiwe, very interesting indeed. What have been some of your observations on the ground? Because we've been hearing this notion from the party leader during that manifesto launch that they are currently rebuilding the party, as you've just alluded to, based on the principles of its founding member. Of course, that is the late Kamagwaza Msibi. So are the supporters actually buying into this renewed NFP? And do they sound like they're convinced by the current manifesto and will actually go out in their numbers to vote for the NFP come the 29th of May?
Well, Alicia, the ones that we spoke to during the course of the day did tell us that they are in fact concerned that the party has had to undergo this series of challenges, internal divisions, of course, which have in a way, hampered their prospect when it comes to campaigning and also convincing the electorate. But of course, they are still hopeful that this current leadership of the party will be able to carry forward the legacy of Zanele Kamagwaza Msibi, who they say, was a champion of service delivery, who they say was a champion of anti-corruption wherever she was, and also basically saying that they believe in her values and hope that this current leadership will also, be able to carry those values forward, and saying that, of course, they can't wait, for the 29th of May, where they will have to, show their support to the party.
And very interesting as well, Simphiwe. I mean, I've been speaking to a few analysts here, and they feel that it is very late. I think you've just alluded to that point as well, for the NFP to try and insert itself or even revive itself as we head to the general elections. So, and then there is an ascension that they should be maybe talking about voting with another party or possibly joining a coalition. Is this a sentiment that you're also getting on the ground from the party leadership, that they could possibly join some sort of pact with the other parties that are already gaining ground in parts of KwaZulu-Natal?
Interesting point that you are raising there, Alicia, the point of the timing of this particular manifesto, and also knowing, of course, that on the 29th of May, South Africans will be heading to the polls. We did pose that particular question to the president of the NFP to say, I mean, looking at the time now, there doesn't seem to be enough time for you as the party to go out and canvass for votes, to go out and campaign fully, so that you'll be able to garner the number of votes that you are perhaps looking for. But his response was that when the NFP was in fact launched in 2019, they had about 3 months before the local government elections, and they were able to perform exceedingly well in those particular local government elections, saying there, Mr. Barnes, that they are not at all concerned about the time, because as you know, Alicia, they say a day is a long time in politics, but in terms of trying now to garner the votes and convince the electorate, that is an entirely, different ball game. That is something also that we are going to be able to monitor as the weeks progress towards the election. But in terms of where the party stands with regards to coalitions, we do know that in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, for instance, they have been working with the ANC in some of the municipalities. In fact, it is the eThekwini Metro where they currently have that pact of working with the ANC, and they are also working with some opposition parties in some other parts, in some other municipalities within the province. But going forward, the leader of the NFP, Mr. Ivan Barnes, saying that whoever they work with as the party, they will have to look at their principles. They will have to look at really their stance when it comes to what it is that they want to achieve before entering into any form of arrangement with any political party.
Now, also interesting to note, Simphiwe, is the choice of venue, which we've been, of course, as the parties, the various parties have been launching their manifestos. We've actually been looking at their choice of venue very closely. I mean, Ulundi is still largely a very rural area. Some of the challenges there, we know some of the road infrastructure is still not up to standard, and a lot of people there are literally suffering for access to to basic service delivery needs. So what are some of the key challenges that the people of Ilundi feel that the NFP can actually deliver for them, or turn the tide around, or their situation around, when it comes to issues of basic service delivery, as well as issues like your roads and services in the area?
The challenges with regards to service delivery are really common, Alicia, when you look at the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But where we are, we engaged a few of the members that are gathered here. They told us that the issue of water is a major challenge for many communities around this particular area, as you also alluded to the issue of poor roads that still do prevail in some parts of this area where we are. There's also the issue, by the way, critically, the issue of high unemployment that exists in areas such as Ulundi, which is a rural community, by the way, Alicia. But of course, the people who are gathered here are very confident that come the 29th of May, they will be able to go out in their numbers and cast their votes.